Well, we've gotten just an overwhelming reaction to the Ben Carson versus the media storyline, which has come to dominate the presidential campaign in recent days, as Dr. Carson insists that what he has written and what he has said about his life, particularly his early life, is true, and accusing the media, as you have probably all heard if you own a television, of peddling garbage, of peddling lies, of trying to smear him. And it's kind of a classic clash between a candidate who is running to some extent on his very inspirational life story, and reporters trying to do their jobs to fact check and vet somebody. And one of the refrains I'm hearing again and again is Ben Carson getting harsher or tougher media scrutiny than others, especially Democrats, have gotten, which prompted an email from Jack, who says even if there is some question regarding statements in Ben Carson's biography, they pale in comparison to Hillary Clinton's lies about dodging bullets when she arrived in Kosovo, or her pushing the false narrative about the video causing the Benghazi attacks and the murder of 4 Americans. So let me pause here for a second and ask you, how do you know about the fact that Hillary Clinton finally had to admit that this story she told about landing in Kosovo when she was First Lady and having to run away from the tarmac because of hostile enemy fire during that turbulent time? How do you know that that's not true and that Hillary subsequently had to admit that she was mistaken, that was not true? You know that because journalists challenged her account, including some journalists like Sharyl Attkisson, who was then with CBS, who were on that trip and didn't see any gunfire and knew that the story didn't hold water, and when she told it during a subsequent campaign, were willing to take her on. Now, whatever the feelings you may have, all of you may have about the Benghazi story, and I think it's been clearly well established that the video, the talking points used about the video by Secretary of State Clinton and by others in the administration turned out to be false. They weren't just misleading, they were false. And they didn't present a true picture of the awful tragedy when 4 Americans were murdered in Libya. How do you know that too? Well, there's been a lot of focus in the media on it. I mean, the Benghazi story, whether you think we've gotten to the bottom of it or not, whether you think Hillary Clinton was held to account in that 11-hour congressional hearing or not, this has consumed an enormous amount of media attention. So I'm not sitting here saying that Hillary Clinton was treated the same way by the press corps as Ben Carson is being treated, but I am saying that at least in these 2 incidents that you cite, there was an effort by serious journalists to hold the former First Lady and former Secretary of State to account. And in looking into Ben Carson's past, I don't necessarily believe that we are trying to take him down or show him to be a liar. He has written and said these things. It is a standard procedure. Every candidate goes through this. You go back and you interview friends and neighbors. The thing is, the press has fallen short of disproving any of these episodes, and that has given lots of fodder to Dr. Carson to denounce the media. And I think we, in my business, have to be careful about not overstating what we think we know when we look into any candidate's background.